One, two, three, four. Welcome to the show. We ain't talking about that show. I'm off beat.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the show. We ain't talk about nothing show. Welcome to the show. The We Ain't Talk About Nothing show.
Check it. Welcome to the show. We ain't talking about the show.
Hey, hey. Welcome to the show. We ain't talk about nothing show. Welcome to the show. The We Ain't Talk About Nothing show.
Somebody told me that this planet was small. We used to live in the same building on the same floor and never met before until I'm overseas on tour. And Pete this Ethiopian queen from Philly taking classes abroad
What's
was.
what's this? The remix?
Oh, yeah.
It's just that
Sorry.
hippity hoppity
Sorry.
stuff.
The
That's
hippity
all
hop.
Sorry, I had a microphone. Had to do it.
Couldn't help yourself, huh, fella?
That's hilarious. What's up, family?
What it is,
Yeah.
man?
Welcome. Come on in, come on in. Welcome to the We Ain't Talking About Nothing show. We're excited to have you on tonight. Hey, go ahead, do us a favor. Like the feed, share. Y'all hear that echo? Or is that just me?
That's
That's
just
you.
you.
Oh,
That's you,
okay,
bro.
praise the
That's
Lord.
you.
All right, that's good. Uh,
Sorry already.
just
Dang,
enduring.
huh?
Man, they get nasty already. The show ain't even
We
started.
ain't even got on the air good.
Jeez.
Hi, Carmen.
Yeah. Hey, Carmen.
Hey,
Hey,
Monica
y'all.
boy.
Hey, Monica boys. Y'all
Hey,
come on in. Like the video, share the video, love the video.
this is my Rona cut, Pastor Nelson.
That's his Mr. T.
That's
That's right. He pity the fool talk about his hair.
yeah. Tony Jordan, hi,
Hilarious.
Pastor Tony. So they be
Hey.
calling you Tony and stuff. You is Pastor Tony to me because I had to call you Miss Tony when I was a kid. So ain't no way I'm calling you just by your nickname without a handle in front now. I can't do it.
Well, if y'all can't call her Pastor Tony, I need y'all to do me a favor.
Shut up.
Call me Daddy.
Shut up. The more you get to know Mark Thomas, the more you can see him coming. Like I used to be blindsided by stuff, but now I see that Joker coming
From
from
a
a
mile
mile
away.
away.
Wait, what y'all do? Wait, what y'all practicing behind my back?
We've been in the game for a
I
while
just,
now.
so Pastor Tony,
Uh-oh, Damo, you may need some help.
if you cut my hair, then you just gotta fade it up. I don't want you to cut it. I'm keeping the mohawk.
Right.
That's
So you're
also
gonna keep
Pastor
the
Tony.
mohawk and you wanna fade the side.
So I'm gonna keep the mohawk. I just want to like let it grow up, I think,
Oh, okay.
and like keep the sides close. I don't know
Well, we're all in quarantine, so we have room to experiment.
for sure.
Right.
For sure.
So I didn't sleep with my do rag last night, and it's amazing how your waves can go to a teeny weeny afro just like that. One
Right
night
quick.
without the do rag.
Right quick.
Oh, that's hilarious. I keep saying I'm going to cut my hair, but I know we got annual conference coming up, so I said might as well just wait.
I know that's. Oh,
Oh,
so
oh,
you gonna get a haircut for that virtual meeting? Man,
Oh
get out of here with that
yeah,
nonsense.
I got to be seen.
I might get a shape up, maybe.
I'm gonna put this
I got
same
to,
hoodie on for
it's
annual
annual
conference.
conference time. We got to pick out our annual conference attire. Business on the top.
Felicia, you on my side? You on my side, Felicia? What are you doing? Stop that.
Said business on the top. Ain't no telling what's on the bottom.
Right. Ain't nobody's business
Come
what's
Listen,
on
on the
here.
bottom.
Hey, glory.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Well, good evening again, family. We're so glad to have you. Welcome to the We Ain't Talk About Nothing show.
hi,
Yeah,
Aunt
yeah,
Bonnie.
yeah.
Hey,
Bonnie.
where we sit around the virtual table talking about a whole lot while talking about
Nothing.
absolutely nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing.
Go ahead, share the video, like the video feed. We're excited on tonight. Gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight?
Good man.
Good, good. Man, I
Doing
want to,
good.
every show, why do I look so much smaller than y'all? Why is that? Like, see how big y'all look? Like, do I need to be up on this thing like this? Like,
So I'm
Well,
not really sure if I should come back at your neck or just tell you to move
I
closer
just, oh
to
no,
the
I'm
camera.
sorry. I
I
just
don't
look
know
so
what you're trying to
small.
say.
I look so small and y'all look
I
so
look so
big.
small.
I look so small. Y'all are so gargantuan. It's good, man.
Oh man, that's hilarious. So guys, how was so Mother's Day was yesterday. Shout out to
Yeah.
all the mamas.
No show.
Hey,
Happy
yeah,
belated
yeah,
Mother's
yeah.
Day.
Yeah, hope you all had a wonderful quarantined uh what?
Great lighting and cameras all around Pat's head, a little bigger. What in the world?
Okay,
But
get him off the screen.
Oh, wait,
Pastor,
We're
doesn't he
not
work for you?
entertaining.
Pastor got a
Absolutely.
tank for it.
Doesn't he used to work for you?
Yeah, used to is a good word.
My main man.
Oh Lord, got to be looking for employment. Praise the Lord. So yeah, well, we hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. Hey, what's up, Sister Regina? Glad that was a good Mother's Day for you guys. So how was
As
Mother's
always.
Day for you, gentlemen? I mean, well, for
It's
the
always tough for
women
me,
in your
man, because
lives.
my mom's been dead for a few years, almost 10 years, and
Wow,
that's
10
tough,
years.
man.
Wow.
Yeah, it
Wow,
don't
yeah.
seem like it's
Doesn't
that
seem like
long,
it's been that long.
but it seems like it's yesterday, man. And
Yeah.
when I think about Mother's Day, I think about my mom and just crazy stuff. My mother was the life of the party.
Mm.
Not like, but just like, not like doing crazy stuff, but just like saying whatever
Whatever she wanted.
came out of her mouth. You just be like, hey, that's my mama,
So you just chip off the old block, huh, player?
How about you shut your black mouth? How about that?
Yeah, I
How
knew that was
about
coming.
that?
Just
How about that?
Look,
shut
and
your
everybody
black
knows,
mouth.
and if you don't, you should know. That's my favorite Mark Thomas saying. The first time I heard him say that, I tried to fall in the floor of the moving vehicle. It was so funny
No,
to me.
man, no.
Oh,
Everything with my mother was black. You a black lie. Like what kind of lie is that? Hey, you a
meanwhile,
blackness.
she was beige at best.
So some light
Beige is
skinned
probably too
people.
dark.
Probably. She was.
Oh
So wait,
man.
so y'all gonna wait till my mama died, then have a show, and then talk about her color? Is that what we doing?
Shut your orange mouth.
So I
Oh,
think like some light skinned people gotta prove their blackness. So my mama will prove she black, brother. She was blackity black.
blackity black black.
Fist bump and everything.
Right.
And
So
so,
what y'all
Pat,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was about to ask, how was Mother's Day for you?
Mother's Day was cool, man. So yesterday we had service. So I decided rather than another, Mother's Day sermon from the pastor, I brought my mama on. And
Hmm.
so had like kind of a chat with my mother, talked about faith and her journey, and um, she was acting all nervous, but I mean she killed. I mean it was really good. It
Good
was
stuff.
really good. Yeah, she didn't want to do it at first, but she showed out.
How to do?
So I think it was a blessing.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man. Damo.
Yeah. So I went to church to pick up stuff from the mailbox and all that. Then came home and cooked dinner for my mom. So that was
Mm.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what'd you cook?
So I did my least favorite thing to do, which is fried chicken. I hate frying chicken. Fried
For
chicken,
real?
I hate it. It's the bane of my existence. I hate frying chicken.
Now
Wow.
Fried
when I
chicken,
figured out how to do it, I loves it.
fried chicken, baked chicken, meatballs, green beans. I did some rice, so it was good. Good meal.
Bruh, I made
Oh
I so
man.
I said I was gonna cook dinner for my wife all week long, and I've been doing that. So yesterday I made some crab cakes. I had some two things of jumbo lump, and I made crab cakes. What I think with the crab cakes? I can't even remember. But anyway, the crab cakes were so
So the
good,
crab
man.
cakes must have
Oh
been
man,
that
they knocked it out the park,
good.
man. Knocked it out the park. I didn't
Good
have
stuff.
breadcrumbs, so I toasted some bread and then crumpled that mug up,
Fresh
man.
breadcrumbs. Okay.
Bruh. Oh, it was
She
on
All
point.
fancy,
right.
huh?
It was on point.
Good
All right,
stuff.
Doc.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Wow, that's cool.
speaking of Mother's Day, now let's go into this one. What is the most embarrassing thing your mama has ever done?
Like I got to pick one.
If you got a series, go ahead and and throw a few out there.
So
Okay.
no, I can give this will sum it all up with my mother. My mother was good as gold, man. I mean, she was the type of person to do stuff behind the scenes and folks wouldn't know. But she felt like if she knew your business, she could tell your business. Now she could tell your business. So my
All out that.
pastor's appreciation, my mother came and told everything that I had ever done wrong as a child. And like as a young person, like what girls I had in my
Everything.
room, right? What the time she had to whoop me because my grades was bad, and when my daddy was gonna beat me, I locked myself in the bathroom, and he had to take the door off the hinges. I mean, stuff you kind of want to keep secret from the people that's your pastor. And then 3 months later, she died. So I was like, how you gonna tell all my
Dude.
business and then mess around and die? Like
Oh Lord.
we got to talk about this. So I never had a conversation about her with her about that. And I was so mad. I was like, I'm so mad at you.
Oh
So
man.
telling all your business got to be in the Black Mama Handbook.
Yeah.
Oh, of
It just
course.
got to be. All your family know all your business because of your mama. Like my mama the other day was on the phone with one of my aunts and kept asking me, "Did you come home last night?" I was like, "Excuse me, did you come home?" Like,
Oh God.
what are you? Why are you doing this? And then my aunt was like, "He grown, leave that man alone." I want to know, did you come home? I had to get up and walk out. I'm not going to do this with you. No, I'm not going to talk about this right now. While she trying to sneak snatch.
Oh, that's
Oh
hilarious.
God, Patrick.
See, so the thing about my mother
Wait, hold
is
on.
what?
Did you come home that night?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I'm not
okay.
going to talk about that with you reading prayer.
Okay, I mean, just
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Pray for the
Movie right
PhD
along.
You
students.
sound just
Yeah.
like Vicky B.
Oh Lord.
Patrick.
But nah, just so thinking about so the most embarrassing moments with my mother were certainly when I was a kid because two things that my mother was a stickler about was customer service and getting the right change whenever we went anywhere. So
Oh
she
my
would
gosh.
turn a store out if she didn't get correct change or if she felt like whoever was serving her or whatever was rude or not. She was the type of mother who would call the manager. So I spent a lot of time being embarrassed in McDonald's, IHOP, Ross.
Oh.
Just it was awful.
So I feel you there. But every now and again, as an adult, I wish my mama was around to go send my food back because I hate sending my food back.
That's a
I be
good
wanting
point.
like text her like, "Hey, I'm at Longhorn and my steak is well done. Ask for
Oh,
me." Send it back. 'Cause I hate doing that myself. Can't nobody do it like that.
oh man. Now that's true. My mother had no shame. Like I'd be over there like so anxious, like, oh my God. I'm trying to be cool, right? Cool, cool middle schooler. She's like, go call the manager. Go call him. I don't want to speak to you no more. Call the manager. Oh
No,
my God.
this how crazy my mama was. We're at our family reunion in Lenore, North Carolina. We're about to, you don't know where it is.
Not a clue.
We're about to leave, and the hotel has a TV sitting on like outside of a room. So my mother would many times often refer to us as boy or girl as boy. So she said, boy, put that TV in the back of the car. I said, Ma, you can't take that TV. She said, well, if they wanted that TV, they wouldn't have left that TV out here. I said, Ma, I'm not putting that TV in the back of the car. She said, you want to ride home, don't you? What is
Wow.
Oh Lord.
16 years old. I helped my mama load up a TV that I kid you not that they had for 20 years.
From the
Oh,
hotel.
oh man.
What?
Now that's funny.
That's mama.
Yep.
Yeah,
Man, what you gonna do?
absolutely.
That's
So did y'all's
mama.
mamas go to the thrift store a lot? Like my mother was the thrift, and God knows I love my mother. She was the thrift store queen. Like it was a time in my life where like she'd go and dig up furniture and stuff and like bring it home and then decide she gonna reupholster it or she gonna paint it, and it'd be like in the house for the next like 2 years.
My grandmother was the queen of big lots. To this day, I won't step foot in the big lots because too many of my Saturday mornings, hour and a half, walk around big lots is a big store, but it ain't hour and a half big. And we would just be walking around big lots, and she come out with a shopping cart from big lots, and then she got to go to the grocery store, and then she got to go to Walmart. And so my full weekend was in stores with my grandmama. Crazy.
That's correct. My mother,
Hey.
she liked big lots too, but only the big lots in North Fork, West Virginia. Now that's the town that my dad is from. And they had like curtains. I mean, man, they had like overstock of all kind of stuff. And the store was just jam-packed full of stuff. Anybody that she ever cared anything about, she went into that store and bought them stuff. Man, you get everything from like stuff to dye your beard if you're into that thing to like
Are we into that thing?
no man, y'all look, okay family, this grow like this, I woke up like this and this is how I do it. I do not dye this.
Now, there's some
It
other
didn't always
stores.
grow like that.
No, I dyed it black and I look like a 40-something-year-old man who dyed his beard. So now that I was 50, I just let it do what it do, man. Anyway, let's and that grade.
I've only ever been in Big Lots once in my whole life, and that was when I moved to Alexandria. I don't know
Really,
what
recently.
Big Lots was.
Really?
Well, thank God you didn't grow up with my grandmama because you would have been exposed and
That's
over
what
it.
it sounds like.
And you from Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's
Wasn't the one up that way?
I don't know.
I think it was.
No, they didn't have much over there, but it's okay. Well, they got
My
this.
mama didn't go. She didn't go to the Big Lots.
Goddard
She
was
went to the
over there.
Village Thrift.
You said Goddard.
And the best high school in Prince George's County, the Duval Tigers.
Sorry to hear you say
short of
that.
that.
Unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate that you believe that. Wow.
Hello?
Yeah.
Man, I
Yeah.
can't hear you.
Look,
Hello?
Uh-oh. He'll put you out the show in a minute.
that hit. Oh, was that or was that
Oh,
the hearing?
I don't know.
Both?
I'm not sure. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking over the show tonight. Greatest high school, Prince George's County, Duval Tigers. Holla at you, boy. All right, we're back.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of embarrassing stories, embarrassing mothers' stories, we've got some special guests who are with us on tonight.
We do.
Who have a slew of embarrassing
A
stories.
whole collection.
Hey, so y'all want to introduce our guests? Let them know who's coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to We Ain't Talking About Nothing, the first lady of first ladies in the Washington district. All right, that's too much. Miss Marjorie Kinard.
Oh yes.
Hello, everybody. I can't believe I'm here. Thank you.
And now, some riffraff, Sarah Kinard.
The poet laureate.
Yes.
See how you do me.
A rock, a tree, a river.
Oh,
Wonderful.
ladies, how are y'all doing tonight?
Fine. It's good to be
It's
here.
so good to have y'all on
Thank
the
you.
We Ain't Talking About Nothing show.
That's
I'm
right.
in the world. I don't know how to talk about nothing. I just don't know how to do that.
It's a double negative, Miss Kinard. We
Oh,
ain't talking about nothing.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Right.
You got it. You got it.
Which means we talking about plenty of something.
That's
Oh,
right.
Plenty.
All right.
Plenty.
So first of all, Sister Kinard, we want to wish you a happy belated Mother's Day.
Sure.
Yes,
You are
definitely.
certainly a queen amongst mothers,
Thank
and
you
so
so
we're
much.
grateful,
I appreciate
certainly for raising three strong daughters. But all three of us guys here have certainly been impacted by your life and your wisdom. So we're grateful Grateful for that. But I know that you have a tremendously funny side and are strong in some of your thoughts. And Facebook has been blessed by some of the things that have been shared by Mother Marjorie Kinard. And so when Cassie Brown was alive, and Sarah, I want you to tell us about this story in particular. There's a particular story that Cassie Brown just knew Sarah Kinard was going to loosen over. I think Sister Marjorie was trying to hook you up with somebody or something like that.
Oh, yeah. So every mother wants to do that. That's part of our culture.
Oh my
That's
God.
part of our culture to do that. I didn't think it was so funny. I thought it was something that should be done.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was in Best Buy, and my sister Hope called saying, "Where are you? Are you on Facebook?" I said, "No, I'm in Best Buy." She said, "You need to get your mother." I said, "What are you talking about?" "She's on Facebook trying to get you a man." I said, "On Facebook?" I was standing right there mid-sentence. I pulled my phone out, read her doctoral dissertation.
Come on here.
Oh, it was long.
It was.
Of a biography about me, and talking about, if you know anyone who could marry my daughter, she's a good person. Do you know, to this day, people still refer? I could be anywhere in the country at any kind of conference, convention, and people say, "You find anybody yet? Because your mother was." I said, "You saw that too?"
Well, I have you all know, you may have taken it as a joke, but I had 4 inquiries in my messenger. 2 men who were in the service, the military, and then a couple of people I did not know who were interested. But then when I told them the application process, they kind of leaned away.
Oh, Sister Marjorie, please tell us about the application process.
Yes,
You just can't have any old man talking to your daughter. He has to be scrutinized. So I had an application and I asked certain questions, and based on the responses, you see, I was going to set up an interview, a personal interview with Sarah, but I didn't find any of them worthy of having an interview with her. So it's just one of those things, you know. You live and learn, but I'm still looking. And I'm trying to find one for Joy too. Joy and Sarah.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah. Okay, let's move right along.
Lord, I didn't know there was an application.
Application process.
So Sarah, we were just talking about embarrassing stories. So we thought that maybe you should have a stab. You got any embarrassing mama stories you want to share with us?
I think most of my embarrassing moments with her have happened on Facebook. For example, she and my sister Joy were in Victoria's Secret. Why Joy in Victoria's Secret to buy underwear, I will never know.
Joy.
So she's looking for undergarments in her side. We're talking about my mother. Marta, you remember the post you made about a woman of voluptuousness?
Of course I do, because I was talking about myself. And Victoria's Secret only has the little petite little things with the little strings and the little pieces that come around. I wanted something substantial that I'm used to. And they took me way to the back of Victoria's Secret. Down in the bottom, there was a door that they pulled out. And there they saw something. And, Joy talked me into buying something skimpy. The skimpy one did not fit me. But I acquiesced, and she bought it for me. And I still today use it on my head for a head.
Oh my God. Let me say, part of what makes conversing with you so funny is your word selection. When you said that you were looking for something substantial,
Substantial. So,
Yeah,
can I ask a question?
of
Are
course.
are bloomers substantial? I
Well,
mean, because
bloomers, well, see, it depends on what kind of bloomers you're talking about.
uh-huh.
Some bloomers used to come down right above the knees, sort of like snuggies. Have you ever heard of snuggies?
Yes, ma'am.
Think you're too old for that. But bloomers kind of come down. But these were the bigger panties,
Uh-huh.
sort of like Fruit of the Loom panties,
Yes, ma'am.
that fit over a voluptuous body.
Yeah.
That's right.
oh yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Smooth woman wears something different. A voluptuous woman wears something a little more substantial because they have something to put in it. Yeah.
I know Patrick was talking about going to thrift stores, and my sister Joy came in. We lived in thrift stores and Morton's. You all remember Morton's department store?
What? You the MORTONS
Yo.
We were
Morton's
so embarrassed.
on Pennsylvania Avenue?
Yeah.
On Pennsylvania Avenue, yeah.
Come on here. At
And in
right at
Value Village,
Pennsylvania, huh?
we would be marching behind her like little goslings, walking in to the thrift store and leaving with big bags of all kind of clothes.
Oh, good gosh.
I had 3 children to buy clothes for. And socks and things like that. I knew what to do. And you know what they would do? We would go into the thrift store and they would turn their heads. They would put their hands.
Oh, I'm with you there,
And
sir.
then
Oh,
one day
Lord.
we saw this woman of substance and stature in the community in a thrift store. Why is she here? Why is she here? I said, because she's got good sense. And you're going to see a lot of women and men of substance shopping in thrift stores because
Yes.
you have to have good sense to do that.
Come on here.
I love them now. I love thrift stores now.
That's
Now,
good.
Miss Kinard, people think that I spend all my money on clothes,
Uh-huh.
but I almost exclusively shop at the thrift store.
Good.
Just about every suit you ever see me wear, I've gotten it out of the thrift store.
You can find some good bargains, some good bargains. You really can.
Yep.
Almost anything.
But
And
you,
I
you
ain't
got
found my
look.
size in the thrift store.
You
well,
got
after a while, you'll have your favorite stores. You'll have your favorite
That's right.
thrift stores. You got to go around and see because
That's right.
there's some fabulous ones for a third of the price that you would buy in the store.
That's
So,
right.
That's right.
anyway.
Wow. Okay.
Wonderful.
Well, Sarah, you got any more stories you want to share with us? I know you said they were all embarrassing on Facebook.
Oh my goodness. Any other stories? I can't think of any more embarrassing
Tell
moments.
them about the one about the sympathy likes on Facebook.
Okay, so we had a conversation about how it is that she manages to get so many likes and loves and hugs and things on Facebook. And I said, they're probably just giving you sympathy likes. What did I say that for? She went to Facebook talking about
Oh, I think I
Sarah
remember that.
you all are just giving me sympathy likes. Well, I went to Livingstone's homecoming, and a woman whom I did not know approached me, stood in my face, and said, I read your mother's post about us giving her sympathy likes. We aren't giving her sympathy likes. We love her, and don't you ever say that again. I was in complete and she has a fan base, and they will kill. You know, Beehive? Beyonce, Beehive, she has a hive of hornets. And that makes me not watching now.
You said of killer hornets.
Killer hornets.
It's
Oh, that's hilarious.
That is
life.
hilarious.
It's a good life. Yes,
That's
indeed.
hilarious.
Yes, praise the Lord.
So we've also, I'd love to give your thoughts because both of you are educators, both of you are leaders in the church, and so part of this season, we've been talking a lot about kind of how people have been adapting to quarantine and ministry and life and education online. And I'd love to get your feedback. I know that John Wesley has a great stream program. I'm wondering, Sister Marjorie and Sarah, how are you both adapting to virtual church, virtual everything?
Yeah, well, it's like water rolling off of a duck's back for us. For me, I mean, we seniors are really doing it up big. And of course, John Wesley has been streaming for a long time, so it was no big deal for us to be streaming. But now we're having other meetings online and prayer meetings and mid-week services and all of that. That's a bit new for us. And so we're just rolling with the flow. And when we had district meeting, the district conference online, it's just been wonderful. And I've been to a lot of Zoom meetings and all. But one thing I think the church needs to do is to train its seniors about being online. And I think some workshops need to be held once we get back to the church. I think every senior in the church needs to have Facebook, needs to have email and those kinds of things so that they can keep up with what's going on, because they want to keep up, but they just don't have the skill to go in to figure out how to do it. And I think those workshops, just telling everybody, bring your cell phone to church and we will set it up for you.
Wow.
And you can set up Facebook right there at the church, have a little, social, and set up people's Facebook on their phones. We can do that. We can also show seniors how to give to the church online, Givelify, Cash App, and all of those.
Tell the saints, mother.
Yes, they don't know how to download Cash App and what to do with Givelify.
Come on here.
So we have to train them. And I really think that churches would be getting more contributions now that we're on lockdown, and we would have even more people in the conversations of working with the various meetings and online things. There are a lot of members of our church who are still not hooked up. But I think Dr. Zacharias is going to make a change there, and we're going to do that because our eyes are open now to a new reality.
And I think you all are ahead of the game because Dr. Zacharias is a senior citizen. He's able to help the senior citizens at John Wesley.
I don't know what he's going to say about that.
That's
but he'll take it. He'll take it.
and it's really interesting that John Wesley is known as being more of a traditional church. But you all have embraced technology in a way that I wish many of our churches would, kind of share that love and embrace, because it's been seamless. Because you all had, like you mentioned, you had, your services streamed for a year or two before this hit. So it was kind of easy for folks to just kind of tune in because they had been tuning in.
Yes. And of course, we started with just a cell phone. Right. When Dr. Shannon was there, we started with a cell phone.
Right, because we had a member, our beloved Michelle Cash, who had become ill. And we started with the cell phone and then with Facebook Live, and we just continued on.
Yes. So now we have cameras and all the stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a blessing because, we're seeing that churches that had already been engaged in the virtual world have made the transition a lot smoother than others who'd kind of just.
You see that, Damo?
Yeah, it takes time.
And it's a blessing for me, Sister Kinard, because there's some people who kind of seniors, they don't want to do this, seniors don't want to do that. It just blesses me because you have been tech savvy for years now.
Yes,
showing the saints how to do.
Yes,
That's right.
seniors want to do it. Seniors really
right.
want to do it. We want to learn about Dropbox. We want to learn how to
Or Dropbox.
You better drop that box.
kind of stuff. You know,
Marcus.
Man, y'all, I'm thinking like an old man. Y'all talking about something
yeah,
else.
yeah.
They didn't call it the box
Well,
The
when I
seniors,
was
don't
your
play
age.
with the seniors. We are capable of doing it. We just need somebody to teach us and to show us how to do it, and just leave us alone because we will take care of it
I'm,
ourselves.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Sarah,
Kennard.
she said leave her alone.
We've got to put Damo out of the feed for a second, and then he needs to come back.
Well, in some of our churches, I know on the Washington district, we have a large elderly congregation, and they want to be connected. And how are we going to connect them? Once we can go back in people's homes, we may have to go into the homes, into the nursing homes too. People have phones and iPads. Why can't they have a hookup? If somebody would just go in and hook up, you're tired of people coming in there just praying all the time. Show us how to use our cell phones. Show us how to hook up with our iPads, you know? Don't come in there with a whole lot of stuff. We want to be connected. So that's what you need to do us. Treat us right, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
So Sarah, what are your thoughts? And not just church in the virtual age, but also education. We know you're on the front lines, kind of making it work
Right.
with the school system. So, what are your thoughts on church or even school in the virtual world?
Okay, well, as for church, you know, I've just had a fantastic time lying in my bed, scrolling from service to service on
Yep.
Sundays. If I can't get in it live, I'll look at the repeats. You know, growing up, I thought all AME Zion churches were like John Wesley.
Wow.
Mm.
Now,
I just didn't know until I went off to college at Livingstone College, and I was in the prayer meeting choir, and we visited a lot of other AME Zion churches, and I saw that there is a difference. And so now I just love taking a look at the drive-in churches and the various different ministers that I see in the connection at conferences, but I've never seen them in the pulpit. I've never heard them preach. And we really do have some dynamic pastors. So
Right.
I think this has been a great opportunity for us to get to know people in their own churches behind their pulpits. Now, as for education, I don't know what's going to happen. It took us about a week. Now, we were at home chilling for 3 weeks. And then in a matter of days, they said, we're going on a platform. You need to get on. You need to learn Zoom. You need to learn the Google Classroom. You need to learn this, that, and the other. They had workshops, online workshops for us, and we had to be prepared to find our hundreds of kids that we teach, come up with lessons, keeping in mind we weren't really astute when it even came to online learning anyway. But now they're talking about possibly doing a hybrid for next school year, perhaps, where kids would only be in school for a certain number of hours, for certain days, for taking certain courses, and then having other courses done online. So I'm even wondering about the longevity of the teaching profession. Like, will teachers have a caseload of 300 students and fewer teachers? If everything's done online? Or do you even need all the teachers that we have? Or will computers teach the students? I don't know.
Wow.
So it almost makes me nervous because I'm thinking I may need to get certified in something.
Wow.
You know, because things are changing just that rapidly. Yeah. Churches, schools, doctor's visits are now virtual. Now, one funny thing, my mother had a virtual doctor's visit, and she said, well, Sarah, she needs to take my temperature and blood pressure. How do I do that? Do I press something?
Well, they don't have it now, but I bet one of these days
that's a good question.
We're going to have something where we can put our finger on our phone or someplace, and it will register in the doctor's office. We will be able to put our phone up to our pulse, and it will register in the doctor's office. I mean, there's going to be a new normal here.
Yeah.
Right.
Change.
I
We
agree.
have
No doubt.
no idea of how things are going to change, but things will.
They already have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
They
for
already
sure.
have. Yeah.
Things are changing rapidly. You're right.
But I'm wondering about the church, whether we're going to need a lot of you ministers. Some of you may become defunct because we can
Did you say defunct or debunked?
is that a right word? Defunct?
Lord.
You say
Well,
people away with you?
I mean, if you take a shower, you be defunct.
Well, we can merge and online. I mean, there's so many, you can cover so many more. And say the three of you could be pastors of one church. Why not?
Domo isn't a pastor.
Thing.
Yeah, but Damo's jackleg. He lost his
preacher's
local
steward.
preacher's license
He's the preacher's
somewhere.
Oh yeah, but that's right. He's not a pastor. That's right. All right, but he understands what I'm saying.
That's right.
Damo, you
follow.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
As a lay person, that ministers can. You have your congregation is so much wider. And I don't know whether people are going to want to go back to church now. I'm wondering if I want to go back to church because I just stand in the bed.
Well, that's all the time we have for Marjorie Kinard tonight. Now, you know, if I cut the bishop off, you don't stand a chance.
Oh, I
all right?
know.
Let her do right. Now, she got to do right if we bring her back. She got to do right. Now, come on now. Come on, mother.
It's my business.
Could that be a reality? Where the churches, people just don't go back. People may get used to being at home and then what?
And I think that's a reality that we need to start preparing for, because I do think that there are some folks who won't come back physically. And so we'll have to, just like Sarah, you're saying, how the school system is talking about a hybrid model. We're going to have to think about what a hybrid model for our local churches looks like, because some folks won't feel comfortable. They're going to have a lot of anxiety about physical spaces now. So some folks are going to be online members, and that's going to be their preference. And we just got to be prepared for it. So we got to make sure we have the online options available and that they are stable. And we need to be able to minister to folks physically as well. I think the hybrid model is going to have to be something that our churches think about. How does it look in my context? And I think that context is also important.
It's so fluid though. So what we would have done a month ago is markedly different than what we would do now. So I don't think anyone can say exactly what the church is going to look like. We're going to have to live into this thing and live into what the church is going to look like. And then in many ways, like Mother said, we have to determine. Some of our seniors don't need to come back.
That's right.
They don't need to come back.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, I was going to say similarly that I think that there's a need to kind of just think through a multitude of scenarios, what church will look like, and we'll just have to see. Because some people I think will be eager to get out and rejoin the fellowship, but those questions of is it safe to do so? We like fellowship. Black church is very much about embodiment and hugs and touch and handshake. What's going to be the role of fellowship in the future? There's also the real reality that some people, by the time everything opens up, being inside is really going to be normative. Like watching church on Facebook or whatever is going to be the norm. So we'll be able to shake that.
And I think we need to be proactive versus reactive.
Absolutely.
Which is why I'm excited about the conference coming up. I don't know if you've heard of the Rethinking Church. Rethinking Church, I think is what it's called. Lakeisha Womack is putting that out. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be all about with the speakers and all, because we definitely have to rethink it because it's going to be so different. And even if the seniors don't come, the seniors are the ones who are paying the money. The people my age and younger, they aren't writing the big checks. I don't know how the seniors are able to take their Social Security money and handle it, like carry the churches when the younger ones aren't even giving money. So then what's going to happen?
But
I don't know, but I'm glad about it.
But you are going to have to figure out a way to get seniors out because for a lot of seniors, we don't have that interaction in other organizations, but we want to come out, but yet we're going to be afraid to come out for a while. But you need us because we need to teach you the culture of the church. With
Oh,
us older people, you will forget the culture of the church, and we have to explain it to you on a regular basis.
That's because we trying to
That's
change the
right.
culture of the church, and y'all won't let us.
I know it. We're not.
oh,
Now we'll let you change some
oh.
things. We close our eyes to some things like no ties in the church on around your neck, and some things we will go along with that. But we are giving you the side eye, but we won't say anything because we realize that times change. And any senior who does not realize that time changes, we get left kind of under the carpet. So we've got to be smart about it and still agree with some things, but you still need us because we need to tell you, no, that's not in the discipline. Oh, no, don't do that. You know better than that. We don't have that here. You need.
And we're gonna keep on fighting y'all too.
I know that's right.
But I
Can
think
there be
that's
a
what
marriage?
makes
Do
us
you think
coming.
there could be a happy
Yeah.
marriage between the old and the new?
So that I was going to say the same, Sarah. I think that that's what the fellowship, the
Right.
sharing of culture, the sharing of ideas,
Absolutely.
the leaning and learning, is really what we're striving to learn to live into, but without kind of being in the same space. A lot of that culture just kind of is dictated by whoever's on the screen at the moment.
Right.
And so
And I
so much is left to the side. Go ahead,
and
Doc.
I agree with what you're saying, sir. I do think that the growth is in the tension. And I kind of made light of it that we're gonna keep fighting you. But no, I do think that we need both perspectives to find the happy medium because there's no way we can abandon the culture of the church
Mhm.
for a new culture that we don't know what it is yet. And
Right.
we have to create, what this new thing looks like, and we cannot abandon our identity for the sake of whatever this new thing is, because we'll be lost in the sauce trying to get there. So I definitely agree that what makes us who we are is essential, and we do need our seniors to continue to keep that in our in the forefront of our eyes. We'll forget, and then we'll be lost 50 years later trying to figure out what happened. Where did we go
Right.
wrong? You went wrong when you abandoned your seniors and thought that their perspective was outdated. So we need it all in order to find our way and find the best approaches for our churches.
Right. And so I've been calling this season a lot. I've been kind of referencing the exile. And I know we'll move on in a second, but just this season feels like exile. It feels like journeying in the unknown. But
Yeah.
throughout the exile, Israel comes into a greater articulation of faith. And I hope that that's what happens for us is as we are journeying in this unknown, that we begin to become even clearer about who we are as people of faith, who we are in relation to Christ, who we are in relation to the larger world. So that's it. It's full of tension, but it's
Yeah.
Right.
also really
That's right.
kind of exciting, right? The new questions that hang out there, and but we've got to be willing to do the work and not just kind
Yeah.
of just do
That's right.
stuff because it's convenient right now, but to really kind of galvanize all the thought leaders and all the age groups, and really articulate who are we going to be in this next season.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Sometimes I
yeah,
even wonder if we know who we are or have we forgotten?
Mm.
And
real
like,
talk.
where are we going? Do we have a knowledge of the past to carry us into the future? And I think it was Miles Monroe who said, if you don't know the purpose of a thing, you'll abuse it. So a
Mm,
lot of
Wow.
things seem to be falling by the wayside because a lot of people may not have understood the purpose for it or the
Right.
reason
Wow.
for it.
Do you
I
remember
agree.
that scene from the original Lion King? I didn't see the remake, but when Simba is out in the wilderness and he goes to that pool of water, and he sees his reflection,
Uh-huh.
and then he sees his father's reflection, and his father speaks to him from heaven, and he
Mm,
says, "Simba, you have forgotten me,
Right.
And because you have forgotten me, you don't know who you are.
See,
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's right.
and I don't want us to fall prey to that.
right.
Wow. Yeah.
I agree.
So cool, cool. Well, I want to just jump back to something we kind of glossed over a little bit, but
Uh,
one of the things that we shared earlier that came up in the conversation was that Mother Kinard is an extraordinary fundraiser and
Yes.
an expert in
Legendary.
church
Hey,
fundraising. And
glory.
y'all heard her talking about getting the seniors on those digital apps so they can give and all the other stuff. And so Sister Marjorie also on a personal note is working on my campaign in that regard. And so I'm grateful to her on that front as well. But Sister Marjorie, anything you want to share with us in terms of I know that you really led John Wesley in a big capital campaign and just any wisdom, because I know we have some pastors and some other folks on the line, and even church finances is going to be a major question for the future.
Oh
And I know
yeah.
that's an area of expertise for you, and I would love to just hear more what you're thinking in that regard.
Well, I've always enjoyed fundraising. I guess you'd say that's my thing. I think a lot of people don't associate with me with that, but I really enjoyed it. Um, I started off, when I was a youngster, doing little fundraising kinds of things. And then when I got married, when I went to Livingstone College as director of alumni affairs, that's when I really got into fundraising. And of course, when I'm still with Delta Sigma Theta, and we have all kinds of fundraising. So by the time John Wesley decided that it wanted to have a capital campaign, I was positioned with the experience necessary. And,
Mm,
I think it's very interesting because when you want to raise money, you've got to be very strategic, and you've got to have somebody with a personality and a love for the people that the people know is sincere and that people can relate to. I think sometimes people just kind of um, get any old body to raise money to be in charge of this or that. But
that's true.
yeah, you need to start off small with smaller fundraising so that you can get to know who the people are who are going to be responsible, because everybody is not going to be responsible.
Mm,
Some people are going to take the responsibility, but they're not going to develop it. They're not going to work with the cadre of people. They don't know the members well enough to know who's going to fit here and who's going to fit there. Because when you get ready for something like a capital campaign, it has so many facets that you're going to need a lot of people working with you, and you've got to be able to manage that without hurting anybody's feelings, but yet
mm,
Mhm.
getting the job done. So that there are benchmarks that you have to have organized, and everybody has to understand that. Now, our last capital campaign, we raised $500,000. Of course, we were raising
wow.
over $1 million,
Wow.
but the congregation was tasked to raise 500,000. So we
Wow.
split it up to 3 years, over a 3-year period, because no church can raise that amount of money just in 1 year. And see, that's why I say you need to be strategic, because
Mm,
you need to maybe have a 5-year plan. And during the 5 years, you are systematically uh, fundraising in smaller ways and bigger ways, and it's just fabulous. I just love it.
So,
Uh,
so let me get this straight. That's
yeah,
500,000 US dollars.
U.S. dollars. Yes.
Okay.
hmm
I'm
That's
sorry.
how we
Continue.
were able to do the renovations of our church. So then we had some
oh
people
wow.
who did pledges. And over a period of time, say for an example, we had people who contributed $1,000, $2,000. Remember, over a 3-year period, they didn't have to do it all at once. 3,000, 5,000, and $10,000. And we were able to get 12 people to give $10,000 over the 3-year period.
Wow.
You see,
Mm.
so I think churches need to look at that kind of thing and be strategic and have fun with it, because it gets to be fun, and then you see how you grow each week, but you got to keep it before the people. Now, some people are not going to want their names recognized. We had a tree, and you got a leaf when you completed your payment, your pledge,
Mm.
and you got a leaf on the tree, you see. So some churches, you may not have a tree, but you might have a plaque where you'd have one of those little gold things on. So there are different little ways to do things like that. And we had fun doing it.
Wow.
That's
And so,
awesome.
do you have any particular insight on what fundraising in the new world and the new normal might look like
Right.
for churches?
Well, it's going to be kind of difficult in the new norm because, and it might be better because now we have Cash App, we have Giveify, you can give in different ways. I'm old school. I like to see my money. I like to see my money in hand.
Come on here.
I want checks and things that I can count, make copies of, and know that it's going in. See, now when
Mm.
you give in Givelify and all these, you got to have somebody who's checking on that money coming in and recording that money coming in, because it might not be coming just filing into the central. So it's going to be a little different with fundraising now. But I kind of think we're going to still do it the old way. We're going to do it the old way and the new way, I think.
That's
Mm.
major. That's
Mhm.
major.
Very
So both
nice. Good
together.
stuff.
You got to
So you
merge.
know, Mother Kinard, I'm interested because I'm with Mark 500,000. How do you what type of languaging did you all have to employ to really get everybody around that vision? Because I know some folks are having a hard time raising 10,000,
Yeah,
let
yeah,
alone
yeah.
500,000.
Well, I
He's
tell
trying to
you,
be nice, mother. How you get black people to raise 500?
well, I tell you, everybody has to buy in. Now, that means the
Mm.
trustees and stewards have to be the first to give. If you are in
Oh,
all
say that again, Mother. Say it
Hey,
again
glory.
trustees
for the
and
people in the back.
stewards
Ha!
and class leaders and officers, you've got to step up to the plate. You
Untie
see,
my bow
because
Mm.
tie.
when the membership sees them stepping up to the plate, and what I did, of course, some
Mm.
people didn't like it, but what I did, every time we got a pledge, I mentioned that person's name and how much that person has pledged. Well, you see,
Mm.
Mm.
that is valuable. Some people say, I don't want nobody to know how much I gave. Don't give my name. But the psychological thing about that is
Mm.
if
Oh my.
if
I
people
felt
know
that.
that I don't have a job, I'm getting my social security, but I'm going to over a period of 3 years
Mm.
sacrifice and give $5,000. They're going to say, wow, God, if she can do it, I can do it. She don't make no more money than I make. I'm not going to let her give more than I give. See, it's a
Mm.
psychological thing that you have to work out. So you have
Wow.
to have somebody to let everybody know how much people are pledging. That's part of the fun of it. And then you've got to collect that money. And we had it where that people were giving money every week because we had it broken down. You could break that pledge up into weeks. If you got paid every 2 weeks, you give a little something every 2 weeks for 3 years. If you did it once a month for 3 years, and you just stick to it. And you have somebody like me who's relentless.
Come
You
on
got
here.
a relentless person to keep talking about it, keep talking it up, and making people see the importance of it. Then we would have all kinds of little uh, contraptions to show people how that money was coming in. You know, you start off with nothing. Then they see you coming up with 25,000. Then you get into 50,000. Then you keep coming on up. They like to see that. People like to see where their money is going, you
Yeah.
see. So
Wow.
it's fun, and any church can do it. Now, you might not want to do 500,000, but you might want to do 50,000, you know. So you got to start from somewhere. You got to let the membership know that there's a possibility that it can be done. And we do it in small ways first. Do it in small ways, then build to the larger ways.
Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
All right with me.
Ms. Kinard, you are an awesome, awesome lady. I
Well,
just
thank
love
you.
you. I really do.
Absolutely.
And I need to say this before we go. The hacking, the
You know what? Don't do
the
it, Mark.
Eastern Regional
Don't do
Meeting
it.
in Hackensack, New Jersey.
What happened?
Nothing happened.
Can't hold water.
I was in Sarah
Cannot
Kinard's
hold
room
water.
playing cards.
What happened?
Man, nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
I just want you to know that.
Okay.
Something happened to me, and you have to do a poem at my funeral, and you say, and I want the world to know that Marcus Aurelius Thomas, the prophet, was in his room.
Barbara Milner was probably there, or Helen Scott Carter, or somebody from John Wesley was watching those youth.
That's why he got in trouble.
I can't have your mama here doing this. I can't have her doing this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna bring her back, but I can't have her doing this.
And Sarah was a good friend. Sarah did not tell on Mark Thomas.
Right. Sarah, you got a poem you gonna give us on the way
I
out?
was just about
No,
to
I
ask
don't.
that.
Right, no, a spoken
Sir,
word. Come
you
on,
got to
girl.
have a poem in your back pocket.
Right. Pull one out. What do you call that? Pull one out of
Do
there.
the one.
I got
Do
you
the
next
one. But do the one. What's the one? I can't remember. With the celebration, when this happens, that's celebration.
Oh,
when this
that's right.
happens,
Billy Preston and Edna Tatum.
Come on here.
I wrote that, but I
my
didn't.
mind.
But you got it memorized. Come on, girl. We got time.
No, we don't.
Sarah.
Hey,
Sarah.
for those of you who do not know, Sarah Kinard is an amazing spoken word artist.
Yeah.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God! I just get chills every time I hear you.
Thank you,
Sarah.
Right. And look, I get you. It's especially like special for me because like we've been friends forever. You know what I'm saying? Since we were children and we were like teenagers. How long have we known each other, Sarah?
15, like 15, 16.
Right. So I'm thinking like 15, 16. How long is that? Carry the one. That's like 35 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, and I get chills when you do it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you just amazing. You're amazing. I love it. I love it.
You know, when I was young, my mother used to have me memorize poems, and my grandmother had me memorize scriptures, and I would be on programs at school. It's like, it has to be cultivated. I don't think people really know that you have to practice it. It doesn't always come natural.
I used to do poems. I used to do poetry too.
Yeah.
Programs and things. So that's something she kind of grew up watching and doing.
So Sarah, y'all prove him a point. So you memorized all this stuff, and now we ask you to do one on the We Ain't Talking About It. Girl, you know what can happen for you after being on this show?
This is top flight right here.
This show is the ticket to places.
You don't hear me? Glory to God.
Name it and claim it.
All right, Sarah. Everybody listen. Listen up. We waiting on you.
Sarah, do not let Mark Thomas put you in the car like that.
Next time.
Man, y'all never do the show the way I want to do it.
Oh my God! Did he leave?
Well,
He took his marbles and went home.
He took
there it is. We know the show is over when Mark Thomas up and quits on us. So thank you, Mrs. Kinard. Thank you, Sarah, so much for coming on. We had a blast. You all are great. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
All right. Thank you again.
All right, family.
Good
Y'all
night.
be good and have a blessed
good.
night today.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Good night.
All right. Hey, Damo.
Yo,
I'll see you later.
something wrong with him. All right. See y'all. Thank y'all.
Okay, good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
What do I do now?
All right, Sarah. Yo.
Oh,
All right, Miss Kinard.
Yeah.
All right, look. Take on.
I know.
So you could do a poem without them being here.
Oh,
Come on.
Next time, let me know, and I'll do a program of poetry.
What
Sarah
in
will
the
do a
world?
program of poetry next time.
Okay, all right, Miss Kennard, you got do you have some room in your closet?
Uh-huh.
Well, hang this up. Works every time.